welcome back to
Bunso Bites.
I'm your host, Ami43.
And I'm your co-host, Jiggy.
Hi, Jiggy.
Hi, Ami.
How are you?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
You have a good week?
So.
Why so?
I've been eating a lot of different foods last week.
Okay.
And it's been foods that I haven't had in a long time.
Sure.
And so my stomach has been really upset because it's a lot of greasy, oily foods.
Yeah.
And I'm just like...
And we're not 21 anymore.
It's good, but then it's not good for my body.
Right.
So
you can feel it. Yeah.
yes, I've been having bubble guts for at least the past 2 days.
Yeah. Very hyper specifically. We watched a movie and we had movie food. And movie food tastes really, really good in the movie theater, but gosh darn, when you're in your 30s, it really doesn't feel great afterwards. You feel very sluggish afterwards for sure, and then like you said, your tummy just hasn't been too happy. I'm sorry that's happening to you. For me, it's not really bubble guts. It's more just, like I said, I felt really sluggish and really I feel like I'm swimming through the butter that I ate. Popcorn butter that is.
I was definitely feeling very sluggish last night. I just wasn't having it.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I understand. Like I said, we are not... we don't have bellies of steel anymore like we did in our youth. So we're definitely the type to feel it the next day, if not the next 2 days.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Did you have an update?
I was just going to talk about my newest obsession.
Which is?
Taba squishies.
And what are Taba squishies?
Squishies. Can you hand me one? I meant to get one earlier. I don't know, any one of them.
How this one? Is that a Taba squishy?
This is a mini Taba squishy. This one in particular is like a pudding. And I bought a bunch as my birthday gift. And literally it's so ADHD coded, but it's all you do is you squish. I'm trying to get it so the mic can pick it up. That's all you do. You just squish them. And then, because they're like a silicone mold, they literally pop back into place. You can squish it completely flat, and then it'll pop back into its shape. And I have a whole bunch of them, and I love them. I'm obsessed with them. They're very satisfying. There are soft ones, there are crunchy ones, there are crispy ones. All of the above. It's great. They feel like marshmallows in your hands, but then it has the satisfying reaction of like when you're done squishing it really hard, it just molds back into place. Yeah. So it's really satisfying. And they've been, I guess, like my new generation of bag charm in a way of like I was adding it to my bag whenever we're going out, and then I'm just squishing it. It's been great. I had one of our Ninangs try it. I was like, Ninang, you have to just feel this. And she was like, what is this marshmallow magic? It was great. So yeah, that's my new my new thing now. I don't know how else to describe it. I love them. They're so fun. They help me when I'm scared and anxious. So it's just like squish, 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 squish.
Cool.
That's it.
Nice. So last week we talked about bad experiences at restaurants, and I said a week ago that we were gonna continue on along with that restaurant topic, and so this week, this week is a topic that we don't ever do, but it is very controversial in the online world space. So this topic is bill splitting.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like, the sentence was going in a direction. I was like, where are we going? And then I remembered where we're at. Sorry, I'm tracking. Yes. Okay. Bill splitting.
So, bill splitting, what this is you get a group of people to go out, eat at a restaurant.
Sure.
Everyone puts, whatever they order all together on one bill. And whoever's eating there, they all split the bill evenly between who's eating there.
Yeah.
So, say your bill comes out to $300. There's 10 of you eating there. Everyone pays $30.
Yeah. Yep.
No matter what you got, no matter, how much your entree was or how many drinks or appetizers you got, everyone splits equally.
Yeah, it's that Friends episode when they all go to that fancy restaurant, and they're all just like, yeah, we'll just split it evenly, super easy. And then Rachel, Phoebe, and Joey are like, I got water and a half salad. So it is I did not realize it was controversial on the internet. This is something that Chiggy kind of just brought up to me.
Oh yeah.
It's something we've talked about before, obviously, as I'm referencing the Friends episode, but also just like when we go out and about. I know for Chiggy and I, and at least the group of friends that we hang out with on a fairly regular basis, it is not uncommon for us to go out to a restaurant and then we all just do separate checks. As that's kind of the standard that we have amongst our friend group. Now, there's also the one person just generously takes the bill or whatever. I normally do that with, like, if I'm going out with a girlfriend. So, like, let's say I go out with Mo, or let's say I go out with one of my close friends, and we normally kind of just switch back and forth. So, like, okay, we went to, let's say, first weekend of the month, we go out to, a dinner or something like that. I'll pay. Second weekend of the month, we go out to a luncheon. She'll pay. And it's very much we don't necessarily keep tabs of how much each other owes. It's just kind of the promise of, I got you this time if you get me next time type of thing. Which I'm perfectly fine with, at least within my, the relationships I have with my friends, I'm totally fine with doing that. Just because I'm so anti-confrontational and I don't like asking, especially if it's just two of you. Like, if it's a bigger group or, like, you guys are getting, let's say you're at a nicer restaurant getting, like, a larger tab, yes, it makes sense. So, like, hey, you pay for yours, I pay for mine, because it can get expensive going out. Especially, like, us, we have a fairly active social life, so going out that frequently can be a lot if, like, we're paying, for everyone each time. But, in a sense of, like, I don't know, I think we just kind of, like, that's our balance. That's how we found balance doing it. But have you ever experienced a situation where the expectation was to split evenly?
Never.
I haven't either, so that's why I was really curious when you brought this up as a topic.
Right.
I've only seen it on Friends.
Yes. I know you said something on this topic when we first talked about bringing it up as a topic. And you said that it's kind of a cultural thing. So I'll let you speak on that later.
Yeah.
But I know for us in our fan group, like, the mutual expectation is that we all pay for our own food.
Yes.
And I know, like, in the past, especially with my friend group, like, when we first became, like, quote unquote adult, and we were able to go eat out, we had our own cars,
cars,
and it'd be a late night and we'd be like, hey, let's all go out to eat. And then it would take the longest time for us to decide where we're going to eat.
Ain't that always the truth?
But then, for some reason, we'd always end up at Applebee's.
I was about to say that 2 for 20. Well, what was it back then? It wasn't 2 for 20. It was like 2
It was
for
less
15.
than that, like 2 for 12.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, we just aged ourselves so bad.
But, yeah. Like, even back then, like, the mutual expectation was that we would pay for our own meals. And then, there were some times where, like, people would be like, hey, I don't have money this week. You guys can just go on your own, and then I'll just catch up with y'all next week.
Yeah.
And then even at those times, I'd be like, don't do that. Just come with us. You can just
I'll get you this time.
Get a drink or something. Just hang and chill out.
Yeah.
Just talk or whatever. Or I would be, like, extra generous and be like, yeah, I got you this week. Don't worry about it.
That's what I'm saying. And exactly with my friends. Like, it was never a question with me and my friends. I mean, there is one particular friend, and I know she's watching, because she and I will get into an argument as to who paid last time. I notoriously forget. So because me being the anxious person, I'm like, no, I'll pay because I don't want you to pay for me because I'm scared you already paid for me, and then I'm just not keeping track because I'm scatterbrained. But this friend notoriously tells me that I pay way too often. But it doesn't bother. It's literally she and I, and we go out, maybe once every 2-3 months, just because our schedules are so busy, or my schedule tends to be really busy. Oh, it doesn't bother me. That's just, like, me going out to a nice restaurant. It's fine. And even then, like, she's paid for me multiple times, and we have, like I said, there's almost like for me, it's unspoken in a sense of, like, we talked about it once, and then we were just like, yeah, that's fine. It really is unspoken between me and Mo. Mo and I, it doesn't matter, whatever. It'll just kind of be like, oh, okay, I got you this time. Oh, okay, I got you this time. And it doesn't even have to be, like, food. We've done this with manicures. We've done this with pedicures. We've done this with, like, going out to, like, doing things and, like, excursion activities, whatever. It's just kind of like because it's just she and I a lot of the times, we just kind of, like, flip-flop who's paying what, or like in the same day it's like, oh, okay, I'll pay for lunch, but then she pays for like the activity that we do later, or like that type of thing. And we never question it. I've never asked Mo, like, hey, can you pay me back? Or I don't think she's ever asked me to pay her back for anything, unless it was like something really hyper specific. But even like, yeah, I can't even think of a time that we asked to pay each other back. No, that's a lie. For the wedding. For the wedding, she did pay for her hair and makeup, which was really generous of her. She didn't have to. And I told her she didn't have to, but she was like, no, I'll pay you. So, yeah, but I didn't even ask her. She just she just gave it to me.
Right.
Which I feel like you have to have 100%. That takes a lot of trust, and I'm not saying to like do that with every single friend that you have. I'm being very hyper specific. Like the people that I do this with, or the people that I exchange like this type of banter with, these are people that I trust, that I've hung out with multiple times, and like I'm not I'm comfortable spending my hard-earned money on these people. You know, like it doesn't I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm spending $30 on, you know, this whatever. Like, I don't keep a tally. And I think and I expect these particular friends anyways that they don't keep a tally on me either, in, you know, in the same sense. But yeah, no, it's I don't know, because you were saying like, even with your friends, it's just like you were saying like, oh, when I feel hyper generous, I feel like you're generous a lot of the times. I don't think there's rarely a time when you're not generous.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I don't know, between the two of us, right? Like, we're pretty generous. Mm-hmm. I'm very generous. I am so scared of looking not generous.
Yeah.
That I can be over generous, which we've talked about in episodes before. I think I give a lot, but that's just because I don't want people to hate me.
Yeah.
I'm so hyper aware of that. I'm like, please don't hate me. And I'm not trying to buy people's love. I just don't want people to not like me. Mm-hmm. I don't want people to think that I'm stingy. I don't want people to think that I'm ever withholding from you. In a sense of like, you know, I like to give what I can, and that makes me feel good that I can contribute to this person, to this situation, whatever it may be. But I digress. That's a different topic. So if you haven't seen it, or you haven't experienced it yourself, what are your thoughts on that whole situation of like, okay, we all go out, there's 10 of us, $1,000, we all pay $100 or whatever, or no, you said 300, I'm sorry, but whatever your math is.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
My opinion is still, if you're going to go out to eat at any restaurant, you should be able to at least front your own portion of the bill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
sure.
If you're going to get the most expensive thing on the menu, you better be sure that you have enough to pay for that portion. But if you're going to go into a restaurant knowing that you're going to bill split, knowing that you're going to get the most expensive thing and still pay less than what that portion was, that's totally wrong, to me at least.
Yeah, like, can you imagine that, like, what was it, you said 310 people, right? Imagine like this one person orders like a steak or like a lobster, and that's like $50-$60.
Yep. And
then they bill split is only 30. Yeah, that's not fair, I don't think. Do you think that is a common practice in, like, it's obviously come up on the internet, but like, do you think that's actually like a common thing, or do you think that's just like a rage bait internet thing?
No, I really think it is a common practice.
Yeah.
But like you said before we even agreed upon making this a topic, that it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So for us as Filipinos, I don't think we've ever run into that problem of bill splitting. Now, there are times where culturally, like especially in your family, let's say we're celebrating Nanai's birthday.
Yeah.
And, you know, Nanai has a bunch of different friends. Okay.
Nanai is the most popular woman we know. She has so many friends, and she is so social, and she's so extroverted. It's exhausting for us. And I'm like, it's not even my life. And I'm just like, Nanai, I'm tired with how social you are. Like, we love Nanai. Like, transparency. We love her so much. But oh my goodness, that woman can make friends anywhere with anyone at any time, and she'll be best friends with them for the rest of her life. And I'm like, go off, queen. Could never be me, but like, go.
Right. So like, we'll pick a restaurant where they can, you know, serve a plethora amount of people.
Yeah.
And, you know, our head count might be like 70 plus people. And
Crazy.
You know, we usually do buffets at that point because it's like there's a bunch of different people, there's a bunch of different appetites or cuisines, you know.
There's
a variety of foods, yeah. So, at the end of the the meal, your family will decide, how they'll split the bill. They don't let any of the guests that came pay their portion.
Right.
So, as Filipinos, culturally, that's how we celebrate.
Culturally, the birthday celebrant culturally pays for everyone.
Right.
So, for example, and this is how it's like vastly different, right? For example, whenever we have had, and well, I'll just use myself as an example. Whenever we have had a birthday dinner with my family, 9 times out of 10, I pay for myself and all of our family members that go. And, that's just kind of how it is. You're asking them to come out for your birthday. It's your birthday. You spend the money. Now, I do have a fairly extended family here. And so there have been times when I've asked Chiggy for help, or I've asked, one of my aunties to help me in that, particularly when I was like working part-time retail, because I was like, I don't have enough money for that. But that being said, like, great example, we went out with our friends last week for my birthday, and we went out to a restaurant, and everyone just paid their own. Like, it was just like a regular hangout. It was very chill. And we paid for our food, and then everyone who came in. Now, granted, it was kind of like not a traditional restaurant in the sense that like we had like a waiter who was like taking our orders or whatever. It was a kiosk order, and so everyone just kind of ordered what they wanted, paid, and then we were served our food. Yeah. But we all sat at the same table, which actually was like super convenient, because then we didn't have to worry about like the waiter trying to split our check. It was just kind of like we all just ordered what we wanted, and it was fine. So when I hang out with this is a very generalized term, but like my Americanized friends, or my friends who are born and raised here like we are, it's never expected of me to pay for them. But when I hang out with my family and it's my birthday, I'm expected to pay for it. Like, I don't know, if we go to, what was the most recent one we did? Outback Steakhouse. Go to Outback Steakhouse and we're celebrating my birthday, theoretically, I would pay for everyone's plate at Outback Steak. Like, I would take the check. It would be a one check thing. And we've done that for your birthday with my family. We've done that for my birthday with my family. So, it's kind of like one of those things that I don't know. Like, I couldn't verbalize the rationale or reasoning behind it. That's just how I understood, or that's how I was raised. I mean, even when I was a child, like, I have a very specific memory of, we went to like Escape or something like, it's like think of like a 90s version of like Chuck E. Cheese, but it wasn't Chuck E. Cheese. And we did that for like one of my birthdays, and my parents paid for all the food for the kids, and like there was like a party package, so like all the kids get tokens or like whatever it was that you played games with, but my parents covered it. So because it was, at the time, obviously I was a child, I couldn't pay for it. But it was always like the expectation was whoever the birthday celebrant is the one that handles it. At the time that you are a child, your family handles it or your parents take care of it. And that's just how I was raised. So like even when I came back here to live with my extended family, it was so deeply ingrained or like understood that no one explained it to me. Like it was just kind of like, oh, okay, we're going out for your birthday. Then automatically I was like, okay, I paid for it. I do remember, like, I could tell you my first birthday back here with my family, we went to Golden Corral, and I paid for everyone, and it was like, okay, cool, like that was it. But then like I wouldn't imagine, or I wouldn't think to do that with our friends, or with, also, I don't know, it could also be like a generational thing, because we have friends who were born and raised in the Philippines, and then they came here later on in life, and I don't expect them to pay for their birthday, but it's also just like, I know that they were raised like with the same cultural experience that I was, if not more so, because they were born in the Philippines. So I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of whatever. Do you have any memories of that, like either growing up or like with your family specifically?
I mean, I pretty much have the same type of experience as you have.
Sure.
Like, we go out to someone else's birthday. Whoever is hosting that birthday party is paying for everyone. And then, for our family, especially when I was, a young kid, if ever we did plan a birthday party and we went somewhere, my parents would front the entire bill.
Yes, yeah.
But like throughout my life, I haven't experienced one once, any type of bill splitting where everyone pays the exact same amount.
Yeah, I haven't, not in real life.
Right.
Just on
now,
TV.
The closest we've ever came was karaoke.
Oh, well, yeah.
So
there's 2 payments though. So
there are 2 payments. So everyone paid for their own food.
Yeah.
But we bill split the room.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know if every karaoke is similar or whatever. At our local karaoke spot, you book a room, and that room has a set cost per hour.
Mm-hmm.
So we booked the room for whatever amount of hours. And Chiggy was just like, I'll front this. So let's say the room booking was $150. So he paid $150 for the room so we could have the room. Once we were in the room and we were singing karaoke, you could also order food. When you order food, just like at any other restaurant, we all just ordered whatever we wanted. We all paid what we ate. So like I got ramyeon and like something else and a soda. And then you got like tteokbokki or something and a soda too. So we paid for that as like a restaurant bill. Then when we left, all of our friends then Venmo'd us $150 divided by the 10 people that were there. So they Venmo'd Chiggy, was it Venmo? Whatever. They transferred the money to him to pay for their portion of the room because we had to pay for the room. Granted, like it was an experience thing or whatever. No, and you know what? I thought, now that I think about it, we've also done this with escape rooms. Whenever we do Groupon escape rooms, we only do escape rooms on Groupon. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think we've ever gone to an escape room that wasn't a Groupon.
Well, but that's the same thing though. Like that bill split because there's no difference in the price.
Yeah.
Your ticket is the same amount whether you're adult.
It's an experience that you're paying for, not not like, oh, my portion is more or less, but then it, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So that really doesn't kind of fit the narrative. So this is where the people that you're going out with, they order different things. Yeah. And then it all has different costs, but everyone still pays the same amount.
Right. But
you can't use the escape room because the tickets are all the same price. So you have to pay the same amount.
Yeah. I'm also wondering, and I have only done this 1.5 times in my life, and I say half because one I was late to, so I just got a drink. But both times I didn't pay. I went to a work. Well, one of them was like a work luncheon. Okay. So me and my team, it was like probably around the holidays, like maybe like November or something like that. And in anticipation of the holidays, my supervisor at the time was like, "Hey, let's like go out for like a team like morale." I don't know. It was something. We went out. It was twice. 2.5 times. So it was 2 separate. I was on 2 different teams, but both of them were instances of like just around the holidays. We're like, hey, let's like get together as a team, morale thing. One, we went to a like hibachi style restaurant, and I was a lowly like 4, maybe a 5. And so I was like, I got no money, so I ordered chicken and water for our hibachi. And I didn't know, because I didn't know the status quo. At least in that instance, my supervisor paid for everyone. He just covered the bill. That was his, I guess, thank you to us, for the year or whatever. The second time we went to Olive Garden, and there I was already like a 7 or something like that. I was a little bit higher. So then I was like, oh, okay, I got like the unlimited pasta or whatever it was, and then I got a dessert or something. Okay. And in that one, I want to say, yeah, we all just paid for ourselves. But I'm wondering, and like maybe because we were talking about like how American culture may be different from like our Filipino culture, like I wonder if in other work, I'm saying work because it's kind of like those are people that like you're not friends with them, but you work with them every day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, oh, I'm best friends with my coworker. Like, I'm friends with them at work, and then when I leave work, I'm like, I don't see you ever. Rarely. There's probably like one person that I've seen outside of work, and no, two. But even then, it's like one of them is because she's also Filipino and she's from Florida, like I am, so we just clicked. We've been to her house before. We went to her house when we went to Florida. And then the other one is a girl because she left something at the office and I dropped it off at her house. But it was like, like it's a very not close, but also like it's an amicable relationship. But I'm like, I'm not close with these people. So I was just like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, so I'm wondering like if in work settings that's more of a common thing because it sounds like I don't know. That sounds like a work setting type thing.
I don't think it's work type of thing either because you've been with me on my work outings and every single time that we've gone out the company pays for everything.
Yeah,
so
because y'all are for profit, so you have profits to spend.
Right.
Yeah,
but I mean I really believe it's a cultural thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's American culture, but it's not. I'll definitely say it's non-Filipino culture.
Yeah, because we're complete opposite. Well, or we were raised opposite. Yeah, if that makes sense.
So I've never been in that situation where it's agreed upon that whatever the bill is, however many people there are, everyone pays the same exact price.
Yeah.
So it's never happened to me.
And also, I mean, I don't know. We don't drink alcohol, but I know like alcohol is like an expensive thing when you go out. So I am curious, like, how does that factor in? Like, let's say you and I were in a situation where we go out with people and then they're like, oh yeah, we'll split the bill, and then someone gets like a $50 bottle of wine or something, and you and I are like, we're not gonna drink that. Like,
right.
I understand if you split it in the table, like, okay, but it's like, we're not drinking that. Why am I gonna spend for a $50 bottle of wine? I would feel some type of way about that for sure, like for sure, because yeah, we don't. That's not something we indulge in, or that's not something we do. And I'm like, that had nothing to do with me, but you're making me pay for it unnecessarily. I would feel some type of way. Now, well, okay, then let me, like, I guess let's play, like, situations or whatever. If you were to be in a social situation where this happens, work, friends, whatever, let's just say these are people that you're not close with,
right?
But people that you don't hate either. Like, it's not like you're like, oh, you would just, like, they're people that you're okay with hanging out with. You're obviously going out with them. But then, let's say at the end of the meal, I don't know, John Smith says, hey y'all, let's just split the bill equally, so make it easier on the waitress. And let's say y'all go to like a mid-tier restaurant, like a Chili's. It's not quite a McDonald's, but it's definitely not like a Ruth's Chris. Kind of in the middle. How would you react, and or what would you do in that situation?
Okay. First off, if someone were to do that and say let's split the bill evenly,
yeah.
It's not going to make anything easier on the waiter/waitress. They're still going to process the same number of credit cards. It's just going to be, everyone's going to be the same amount. Whereas if you all paid for your own stuff, it's going to be the same amount of credit cards, just different bill amounts.
Right.
So it really does not make anything easier. Now, moving that aside, if someone were still to do that and we all paid the same bill amount, I would still pay once. After that, I'm never hanging out with you guys again. I'm dead. Like,
goodbye.
Exactly. Like,
we got different priorities, my man.
if I was invited to someone's party and they had like dinner and then they were running up the tab on drinks and liquor and all that, and I had a water and a simple chicken meal or something,
or a salad, yeah.
I'm paying like $20 maximum or something like that, and then they say, oh, okay, everyone's gonna pay $75. Okay, I'll pay $75 once just for the experience, but I'm never doing this again.
That's crazy. I mean, I get that. Yeah. No, I feel like I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to imagine because I'm like, that literally would never happen to us outside of, and just like I said, outside of possibly a work situation. And even then, it's like I just said, it was like when I went out with my work friends, I was just like, I expected to pay for myself. The first time, my supervisor very graciously paid for, that was his thank you. That was his holiday gift to us. And then the second time, we all just paid our own, and it was fine. Like, no, there was no like question or whatever. So I can't imagine that being a situation that we would run into, either of us. But if it were to happen to me, and let's say, like, I'm trying to be as, like, generous and as gracious as possible. Let's say these are, I don't know, we go to, like, I'm trying to think of, like, what would be a situation this would work in. Our neighbors, I don't know, some type of neighborhood mingling, family friendly, whatever. We all go out to eat to get to know each other or something. This is so far out there. This would never happen. I'm just, like, trying to think of, like, who else are adults in our lives that we're just, like, not hating on, but I'm not close with them. I don't think that it would necessarily be a situation of, like, I would never hang out with them again. But it would definitely be a situation of, like, if I were to hang out with them again, like, I would do the same thing as you. I'd pay the once. Like, okay, we had this thing. Everyone paid $50. Cool. I'll drop my 50. Goodbye. Thank y'all so much for the time. And assuming that I personally, like, didn't have a bad experience at the actual event, like this meal that we have with them, I would probably just, like, on the next round be, like, kind of set an expectation from the beginning. And me being me, it wouldn't be like I would do this again as, like, a big group. Like, it would be like I met so-and-so at this, like, big group thing, so I'm going to go hang out with her again because I think she's really cool, whatever. We go out, and I'll be like, hey, just to, like, you know, just to make things clear, like, I think we should just pay our own bill, or, like, you know, I'll get you this time, or whatever it is. And just kind of say that up front so that the expectation is set and there's no weird juju vibes or nothing about, oh, you pay this, I pay this, or whatever it is. It's just, like, just set the expectation up front, and then for the second or third time around. Because, again, I'm assuming that I didn't have a bad experience when this happened. It was just kind of like I don't agree with the bill splitting part, but, like, okay, culturally or situationally, maybe for whatever reason they deem that easier or better. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I mean, even, like, I'm just thinking about it too. We invited a couple of friends over, like, later this week because, you know, of something that's happening, and there's no expectation that we're paying for them, but we invited them over to hang out, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, cool. Like, I'm just thinking about it, like, it genuinely is something that just has not directly crossed our paths, which I'm grateful for, because I'm grateful that amongst us and our friends, there is no, what's the word? There's no, like, weird question about money, if that makes sense. I would hate that.
Yes.
I would hate to have a friendship where you guys are constantly keeping tabs, or you're constantly like, oh, this, oh, that. Like, I would be so stressed out.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to hang out with you if that was my relationship with you.
Right.
And if I've ever had a relationship with you like that, I'm really sorry. Like, I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but I hope that I've never been that way with any of my friends, because I can only imagine that would stress me out. I would not like that at all.
Yeah. Like you said, we're very blessed to have a friend group, or, you know, so just family and and friends, acquaintances that we know of, that we all have the same mindset. Yeah.
I think we have surrounded ourselves among people, and this is just a big generalization, but a good generalization. Every single one of our friends in our family, like, genuinely, every single one of our friends in our family would much rather give than take. And by that I mean, if something comes, like, I don't know, if I don't know, what's a good example? We go and have a dinner at one of our Nino or Ninong's places. They would much rather give us the leftovers than asking us to bring something. 9 times out of 10, whenever I ask, oh, what can I bring? They're like, yourself. And I'm like, no. Like, please give me an assignment. Tell me what to bring. I was raised better than that.
Yeah.
Which, shout out to another friend of ours. That was a joke that she and I had. The friend that gave me that birthday gift. We were talking about how there are people our age who, everyone has different priorities. Everyone was raised differently. It's not right or wrong, right? Like, whatever your priority is your priority. But she and I always joke about how we unnecessarily, but also very necessarily, stress out about that very specific thing. So, like, if we're invited to someone's house, or if we're doing something, we always bring something. You never not bring anything, because if you don't bring anything, that's rude, or that's how we were raised and taught. Because I remember there was one time, it was very last minute, we were all texting each other Friday afternoon. And we're like, yeah, let's hang out. And I was like, uh-huh. And me absolutely knowing there is nothing in our fridge. There is nothing in my pantry. There is nothing that I could just throw together and whatever. So I have to either order something or I have to go figure something out. And like literally, I think I got home that day, like dropped off all my stuff, said hi to you, said bye, went straight to Target on the way to said friend's house. And like picked up all the stuff, and then we had a dinner together at her house. But it was without, like, she didn't tell me to bring anything. She didn't ask me to bring anything. But it was just the understanding or the thing of, oh, you've welcomed me into your home. You're inviting me to your place. You're offering your space and your time generously. It's in return, I need to give and offer something in return. And not in like, again, this is not a we're keeping tabs thing at all. It's just genuinely me and this friend in particular, like she and I giggle about it all the time because it's like we will literally be panicking about what am I bringing to the potluck, even though it's not really a potluck, but it is. And then, it is what it is. So we giggle about it now because we're just like, I know if I were ever to invite her over, she would 100% bring trays of things or whatever it is. So it's like, and that's how... I like that my friendship is like that. Like, I like that we're almost competing with how generous we are with each other. Like, in a good way. Competing sounds so bad. But, it's just like we kill each other with kindness. And we kill each other with love in the best of ways. And I could say that about, almost everyone in our friends and family, like, in our circle in general. We've built a community of those type of people where giving is so much more than receiving is. And I love that about our, I don't know. We chose our family. I was trying to say family and friends, but both, very much both.
That was the whole point of our friends and family all having the same mindset.
Yeah.
I also think that when you do go out to eat, because going out to eat is a privilege.
Yes.
That whenever you do plan to go out to eat, financially, you need to know that you have the funds and or money to spend at that specific restaurant.
So, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Especially if, like, say, we're going out to your birthday and we're going out to a restaurant to eat. I'm thinking financially in my head, okay, how many heads are there? Let's say there's 12. And, I'm going to say, look, an average bill is about $35.
Sure.
So I'm spending anywhere from, $360 to, like, $420. Like, I need to know in my mind that, hey, if anyone is not able to pay for their share, best believe that I should have enough money to take care of everyone if that be the worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case scenario. I have $500 to drop.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, for sure.
So, like, having friends like that and people around you like that, they can offer to help you in that situation if you're not able to, or, say you forgot your wallet, you forgot your money, whatever.
Yeah. Life or something, yeah.
That you and or they are able to do that. So, I think that's also something that is a point of contention as well.
Right.
There are people that I've met in my life where we go out to eat, and before they show up and they're already eaten, and they're like, they pull me to the side like, hey, can I borrow some money?
Oh yeah.
Sure, I'll let you borrow it once, and then if you so happen to ask me to borrow again without paying me back for the first time, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I've had 2 friends do that to me. And and I'm just like,
I know one, I think.
Never again. Like, I'm not going to lend you money until you pay me back.
Right, yeah. Well, and again, that comes back to what I was talking about at the beginning. The trust that I have with those friends that I can do that with.
Yeah.
But it is because I know in a heartbeat they would cover or take care of me if I needed it. Or, like I forgot my wallet or whatever, life.
Yeah.
So it's like knowing that without a doubt, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah. And, like, not to say that I'm going to avoid you for the rest of my life, but if there's anything that you have to deal with financially, money-wise, if if I'm there in the same room with you and you look at me seeking for help, and I've known that you've borrowed from me and not paid me back, you're dead to me right now. Like, don't ask me for anything, any type of help in regards to money, because you weren't able to pay me back the first time.
Right.
But say we're like doing something, like we're playing video games, I'll chill with you, I'll be friends with you. But as soon as that financial aspect comes back into play, I don't know who you are.
Well, you're protecting yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I've had friends that have done that to me before, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it's like you don't want it to become a point of contention for yourself either. Like you said, it's like you're not against the person or whatever. You'll still hang out with them. You can still be homies with them. But it's kind of like you don't want to keep introducing this thing, and it will turn into a bigger or worse problem. You're just like, no, just put up that boundary. You're good. And I mean, I applaud you for that. I think that is important. In any relationship, just knowing, and again, that comes down to your trust and your understanding with each other, and being able to communicate about that stuff is important. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you would like to add?
No, I mean, I kind of said a lot. This is such an interesting topic, because I feel like, especially in your like young adult into like your middle adulthood, again, we're very fortunate. We have a very active social life, in a sense that like we always have people who are down to hang out for a variety of reasons. And yeah, I think it's just you need to know who you hang out with, and you need to know yourself. Like you were saying, protecting yourself from, you don't want things to become problems, but also it's just like, try to make friends with people that you can trust. At the end of the day, you don't want to be in a situation where you're with someone that is just kind of harpooning on you and money, and you're just like, it's gonna burn you out, and you're like, that's not good. You don't want yourself to get hurt in that way. So yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, in the social aspect, like we were talking about with the splitting bills or whatever, if I'm in a situation where it needs to happen one time, it'll happen one time. But just like you, in the next time or in the next iteration of that with that group of people, I either wouldn't do it again, or I would just, like I said, make it kind of clear, like, hey, I'm not really down to do the whole split bill thing. Like, I'll just cover myself or whatever. Which, again, is not really a situation we would necessarily run into, but if it were, that's definitely how I'd approach it. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It was definitely one that was interesting. Well, like, as in, I feel like a lot of people can have a lot of different opinions. Money can be a point of contention in a lot of things. So yeah, let us know in the comments down below if you agree with us, if you disagree with us. Are there situations where splitting the bill equally does make sense? And if there are, let us know. Definitely not something we've run into personally, so we'd be interested to find out. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we will see y'all next time. Bye!